Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this, your Aries December 2024 reading and forecast. Hi, I'm Nigel St. James, clairvoyant. Well, this month we have a very good deck. You probably haven't seen it around, I would imagine. If you have, it's quite rare. Now, it's a medieval art style deck. And this is the back of them, for those people who are interested in what backs of cards look like. But full of great imagery. You, of course, can take from the imagery whatever you would like. I'll have my own take on it, I guess. And we'll get it done to see what the cosmic energies have to say to allow you to manage your environment to bring about fulfilling emotional relationships and success. Now, you do know, of course, that I provide clairvoyant readings to people all over the world by way of FaceTime and Skype. The information is in the description. I also provide healings for people as well. Now, healing is free. And check out the information. It's free because it's a spiritual gift coming through me and not from me. And that's just the way that it works. I can't get anything in return, so there's no obligation for it. Now, the clairvoyant reading would last for, well, probably an hour and a half, maybe longer, and the healing's probably about 45 minutes. Now, let's see what goes on, shall we? There are no video advertisements breaking their way into this content, so you can enjoy the reading direct. See what there is, hey? The King of Coins. Now, what is here? The Hermit. Hello, Hermit. Unusual card. The Magus. Number 1 major arcana. There's the Knight of Swords. Finally, let's take something from in here, shall we? And there is the 7 of Coins. Well, why don't you come around here? I'll bring the camera around and you and I can have a good close look at the imagery on these beautiful cards together while I do the reading for you. Very interesting. Look, there's some fear of defeat or giving up before you've started. It's on the way out. I get the feeling of Saturn around here, who has been teaching you to believe in yourself. And you do some mental weeding of the garden, you realize the magnificent talent that is within you. You then approach the world like a storm. And then you go on to success and abundance and fulfilling relationships. Now, look, I want to deal with this first because it is... I have the feeling that this has been around with you for some time, you know. There's as I say, the planet that I'm getting here is Saturn in the 3rd decan of Taurus, the 11th to the 20th of May. Well, of course, Saturn is slow-moving. It's about restriction. It's about teaching you to come back upon your soul purpose, and sometimes the lessons can be difficult and they can prick you like a fork to make sure that you understand who you are. And you, of all people, should understand that there is nobody on this planet who has ever been like you, and there never will be anybody like you ever again. You are significant. You are important, and you are here for a purpose and a reason. Still, there's some hesitation, I think, which you've been going through, which I'm pleased to say is now turning away. There's sort of a fear of falling, of making mistakes, and perhaps you have been seeing obstacles, when really there were no obstacles there at all. In fact, in some way, your ability to deal with things may well have been blocked by your fearful expectations. But you've stood back, I think, and now you do understand that you have it in you. Now you understand, you, again, of all people, Aries, you see, is that first emanation of the divine into manifestation. It's about the creation of polarity and opposites and everything that goes with it. And sometimes, you know, we have fear of defeats. But look, We all encounter many defeats, but you must not be defeated. In fact, it's necessary for you to come across the defeats so that you can know who you are, what you can rise from, and how you can still come out of it. You see, the brick walls are there for a reason. The brick walls are not there to keep you out. The brick walls are there to give you a chance to show how badly you want something. Because the brick walls, really, they are there to stop the people who don't want it badly enough. They're there to stop other people. So they say this to yourself: I have the courage to believe that all that happens in my life is serving me for the best. I am willing to release all of that is not serving me in my life. But as I say, that is really on the way out. And I think in the process of seeing and saying goodbye to those expectations, you are doing, as I said, a little bit of weeding of the mental garden. Here is the Hermit. Now you'll notice the sun up here. Well, the sun is not illuminating the Hermit's path. Rather, the Hermit is looking for the path within. He is the magus of the eternal gods. Now, this is talking about really a period here where I think you do look inside of yourself. You might actually be learning things, probably following rules and regulations and the traditions in your life at the moment as well, I suspect. This is a very good energy for people who are in large organizations, and it might well be that you feel that you are somewhat trapped by blindly following a particular religion or doctrine without questioning it. And maybe that's something which is in conflict with you. Now, do I need to remind you that you are not inside your body? That is to say, your subconscious, your conscious mind, and your body, you are not inside of them. They are inside of you. You are an immortal spirit that has come here to enjoy, to learn, to go through life. But sometimes we need to remember ourselves, and the only journey that this guy is interested in is the one within. And when you look within, be still, calm your words, and let the beloved speak to you with words unspoken and flood you with indulgent, excessive love. You see, you are not limited to this body, to your mind, or even to this reality. You are a limitless ocean of consciousness, and you are just filled with infinite potential. In reality, you really are existence itself. True power is within you, and it is available for you now. So feel within the pure and unconditional love and embrace all. And it is particularly the case with you that you are an explorer, and you represent our species. And the greatest good you can do is to bring back a new idea, because isn't it the case that our world is endangered by the absence of good ideas? Now, consciousness, what you bring, is only possible through change, and change is only possible through action. And these cards here are particularly bound together, I think, because this is telling you to take the risk, to take action. Now, this idea of you as an Aries taking action, you are born for it. You have talents and gifts in you that have been given to you alone, as I said before. Maybe I can get this across by telling you a story. And it's a story about a person who might, in a hospital or wherever it is at home, be on their deathbed. And I think that you would agree with me that the ideal situation for a man or woman to die is to have family members praying with them as they cross over. Now, imagine, if you will, being on your deathbed and standing around your bed are the ghosts of the dreams, the ideas, the abilities, the talents given to you by life, and that you, for whatever reason, you never went after that dream. You never leant in for that kiss. You never said those words. You never used those gifts. And imagine that there they are standing around your being, looking at you with large, angry eyes, saying, "We came to you, and only you could have given us life. And now we must die with your body forever." And imagine, if you will, what love, what words, what gifts will die with you. Their own unholy miscarriage will be your bodily death. Do you know, the greatest wealth, it doesn't lie in the oil fields of the Middle East or in the gold mines of China or Australia. The greatest wealth lies in the cemeteries. The greatness we have never seen, the joy never passed on, the words of sweet love never spoken, the talents, large or small, never actualized. This is your duty. It is to act. And then I suspect that, well, here it is in the middle of your spread. This is the Magus of power. A lot of Mercury around here, that planet of intellect, the planet of diplomacy, and the planet of communication here. So great communication will be with you. Playful dealings with all possible forms of communication. There's a flexibility and a brilliance to you. There's also action, power, and you are in a position to make things happen. You'll have great willpower, and you might be something of a, given this communication ability here, I suspect you might, should you choose to, actually be in a position where you might be able to manipulate people to get things to happen. Now here, this painting here, normally the magician has the 4 elements of the suits, which I guess are replicated here by these 4 vapors that come up here. This energy is representing the will, wisdom, and word through which the world was created. Now, you will be something of a genius at now taking advantage of the possibilities that are available to you. Mercury, which is the planet I'm getting around here, Mercury is neither male nor female, or maybe the better way to look at it is to say that it is both male and female. It's androgynous. And in that duality, I suppose, Mercury can stand for truth, or it could also stand for things that are false. And Mercury is going to bring to you a questioning of all set ideas and prior judgments. Now, Mercury can often appear in something of a questionable light itself. As a creative creature, Mercury doesn't have a conscience. Mercury, and you can now use all tools, all methods to arrive at your goal. But of course, there may well be the temptation to misuse your talent. But you have the ability and the skill here now which will bring about superiority and power. And I do happen to know that this energy, when applied by people who are skilled in it, can walk with those people the fine line between white and black magic. You'll have brilliant capabilities which you should share with other people. And one important task I think for you to do is to find or to create the proper surroundings for your activities. You'll be able to talk about things to do with money, you'll inspire other people. You may have an interest in philosophy, religion, or spirituality. You'll be very direct. You could get involved in wanting to write that piece of literature that you thought about. And emotions, relationships, and sexuality are highly prominent here at this time. And your intellect will be logical and analytical. Of course, you won't be able to fulfill your destiny, your tasks, without constantly remaining during this period in touch with the spiritual forces of the universe. When you are in the service of the cosmic law, things will happen. And when you recognize and accept the living of your soul contract, then you will bring light into darkness and dispel ignorance and misunderstanding. Work with love. You see, if you work with love and you have love in your heart, well, love wakes you up in the morning with a sense of purpose and a flow of creative ideas. Love floods your nervous system with positive energy, making you far more attractive to employers, to clients, to partners. Love fills you with a powerful charisma, and it allows you to produce new ideas and new projects, even within circumstances that might seem to be limited. You can do it. And love leads you to make up for the errors and clean up a mess that you left behind if you've made a few mistakes or transgressions. Love leads you to act with integrity and excellence. Love leads you to serve, to forgive, and to hope. Those are the things that are opposite of a poverty mentality, don't you see? They are the stuff of spiritual wealth creation. Now, to whatever extent your mind is aligned with love, you will receive divine compensation for any lack in your material existence. You see, from spiritual substance will come material manifestation. This isn't just some strange theory. It's how things work. It's a law by which the universe operates. Because I remind you that you are not merely a being of the material world, you are a being of unlimited spirit, and in spirit there is no lack. You are not lacking just because your circumstances are. And also bear this in mind, that when you are willing to see the innocence in another person, even when they have behaved without love towards you, well, you do activate this law of divine compensation, I would call it. And now, with these things together, you will see a miracle. And a miracle is a shift in understanding, moving you from fear to love, from a belief in what is not real to faith in that which is. And that shift in understanding, that will change everything for you. and you will be brimming with and overflowing with ideas and plans. But let me see what this is saying. I think this is, I've got a lot of Aquarius and a lot of Capricorn around here, so they may be important to you. This is someone who's quite, well, not as developed as the father is, but someone who nevertheless is courageous. Now, this is speaking to me of intuition coming to you now, creative thinking, cutting through all entanglements and becoming free of limited ideas and models. You'll have a really clear perception going forward, you know. This is someone who is, I'm getting the feeling around here of an intellectual side here. Look, this could also be somebody else in your life, which could be male or female. Someone who's full of ideas and plans, clever, but there's an instability associated with them, and the person can be, if you allow them to be so, quite domineering. They're elusive and hard to pin down, and they are very impressionable and take on the latest thing in ideas or fashion, what have you. This is someone, I think, who, unlike the father of this person, I would say, is someone who can be heading in a direction, but it's almost by way of accident that they're heading in that direction, which makes me think it's not you. It could be someone in your life. This is you here. Someone who can seem to be, in a sense, out of control. This is someone who will have a good idea, but then move on to the next idea without developing the first one. And there's a series of these things here. The creative process is working very well, but none of these creative ideas, they don't ever get grounded in anything, and they don't become tangible. There is something here of it's like a bee flying around everywhere, creative, but not directed here. I'd also say that this person, and again, could be either male or female, as I said, they might be just really purely intellectual, almost full of ideas which tumble over each other. They're a mass of fine ideas, none of which are related to anything practical or practical efforts. I mean, the person's clever, but they're really unstable. They don't seem to have a particular purpose or a goal to which they're aiming towards. And any of their ideas, we could pick up any one of them, because in their mind they're all as good as each other, but none of them get developed. And in a sense, they're able to reduce things to unreality by sucking the actual facts out of anything tangible and then converting it into some strange, weird, unusable idea. Now, for you, though, I think what this is saying to you is to free yourself from whatever is limiting your mind and spirit, and to be sure that you express your ideas and plans in ways that other people will understand. And if you can stomach it, accept their opinions humbly. Now, it could just well be that your own thinking at the moment may be way ahead of its time, but you can adjust things to make your vision workable in the present without sacrificing anything. But do ask yourself this: what beliefs, feelings, relationships, or programmed ideas do you allow to limit you? Say to yourself, my own creative possibilities have no limits. I am able to put them into motion, and I am assured of success. Now, I say that advisedly because I notice that this energy here has turned up, and I get a lot of Virgo and a lot of Leo around here. So that Leo influence is particularly good for you, I think. And I think here that, look, this is talking to me of good love relationships, fulfilling love relationships. It's speaking of abundance. It's speaking of success, good health. In fact, this energy really is the master of health and material abundance. And for you, it's almost now as if it's harvest time. This king here is very wise and has no doubt ensured that the lands of his realm have been put to productive use. And this harvest is going to reward you abundantly here. The work that you put into things and the work that you've, in a sense, been doing on yourself, it gives fruit, and it's harvest time for these efforts. The work is well worth the effort, particularly if it's done in the service of your own personal growth or in the service of other people as well. Now, I think you'll be working with instinct at the moment, and you'll have a good work ethic, and that is going to bring results for you. But I'm getting the feeling here that just don't totally absorb yourself in work. I'm getting something of someone who doesn't have a lot of balance going on in life. This king, I don't think, has any interest in anything outside of the ruling of the realm. The message coming through here for you is that now is the time to set your abilities to work in service of some kind. I also think that the tasks before you, as you see them from where you stand now, they're large and they will demand the use of all of your powers. But if you make the effort, the harvest is going to reward you richly. But do ask yourself this, though. Are there any tasks that you would like to avoid in your life? Remember, those brick walls are not there for you. They are for other people. And when anything seems to be too much trouble for you, concentrate on the positive results of your actions for you and for other people. And in a sense, your internal learning and growing spiritually and psychologically, they're really the most important outcome at the moment, more important even than that which you might achieve by your actions. But say this to yourself, that in any event, with every task that comes my way, comes also the energy needed to accomplish it. Well, I've got to say that was a fascinating spread of cards. Made so much better for you being here.
Well, I told you that was very interesting art, didn't I? And didn't you find it fascinating? I love that period in history. It's one of my favorite sections of history, I think. All around the world, or at least in Europe and the Middle East. And now, of course, unless I see you privately for a clairvoyant reading or for a healing, then I'll see you here again next month. And until then, though, remember one thing, and it is this, that you are a legend. And I look forward to seeing you again next month. And until then, it's bye for now.